if you're a startup founder and you want to convert more of your web traffic into paying customers, then your pricing card might be the most important element that you put on your page. And there are a lot of ways to do it wrong, and there's only a few ways to do it right that get people excited, that get people to understand your offer, and that get people to buy your stuff. So let's get into it. My name is Jordan P. Anderson with Nice Size Studio. Here are some pricing cards that I've built in the past. We're going to talk about what works with them, what is not working with them. I've got a whole bunch of notes that I can show with you. And then we're going at the very end to build our own pricing card. And I believe we're going to build the perfect pricing card when everything is done. So here, again, here's some pricing cards. Here's some pricing examples. This one's from loop.so. This one is from Notion that I'm sure you guys are all familiar with. We'll go over those here in a second. Let's talk about I've got a couple tricks here, a couple hacks, a couple psychology things, a couple pricing. A few years ago, I got totally into pricing. I fell in love with value-based pricing. I read a ton of books on pricing and pricing psychology, how to say the right things to the right people. And when it comes to price, it's a very sensitive topic and not a lot of founders want to talk about it. And a pricing card is a great way to there's ways to push people in the right direction. There's ways to make people feel a certain type of way, a certain emotion with your pricing card. So in no particular order, let's go over some quick hacks and tricks that you can use for your pricing card. The biggest question you might have is like, your best features go where? Listing prices or listing features and bundling and unbundling. Where should your best features go? You want to push the goal, I think, for a startup, if you were trying to make money, maybe for early startups, it might not, maybe you just have one plan, but you should have multiple plans. You should have 2 to 3 options for your customers. And each option should start to push people higher up the food chain. Your starting feature, your basic plan, your free plan, whatever it may be, needs to have a limited amount of features, but needs to be enough to give people a taste of what your app can do. Whereas your middle plan, your tier 2 plan, should start to have more of your best features. And then you need to decide, you need to look at your table of all your features that you do offer. And the most impactful features, the ones that are going to get the highest benefit, the most popular, the most used feature, maybe the most feature that's like most expensive for you to support, maybe especially in the AI world, if you're using a lot of credits. Maybe you don't want the freebie basic people spending all your AI budget. So you want to push those up higher into a higher plan. And then you want to kind of, in a way, you want to punish people. There's some very white hat pricing stuff, but there's some also gray hat stuff where it is conversions. It is conversion rate optimization where you are pushing people. I believe in a way you are punishing people but I think it's justified because you're trying to make some money. You're trying to tell people like, hey, if you want this, I'm sorry, it's not available on this plan. You got to upgrade plans. And that pain of people like, but I want it. And it's, no, you can't have it. You got to go to tier 2. You got to go to tier 3. Because if you give away your best stuff and in the free plan or in the basic plan, then down the road, trying to increase ARR or get people to buy higher up or sell them on a higher plan, the higher plan might not be attractive enough because why would I buy it? Because all the best features are down below in the basic plan. Bundling and unbundling. This is, again, you need to kind of play with your features. Do I put all these features together into this plan? Do I take them all out? Bundling is done in the airline industry all the time. You can buy your seat, your upgrade, your VIP, your suitcase, all in one price for $1,000, or then airline companies decide to unbundle everything. Well, they will make it all a la carte. So you can buy your seat, you can buy your VIP, you can buy your upgrade, you can buy your suitcase, you can buy your food. All of that is separated and unbundled and made into a la carte. So you got to kind of play. Is it a better deal for your customers to get everything bundled where it feels like you're getting a big, nice, put together package deal? Or do you want to give your customers that option of, okay, I want this feature, but I don't need this feature, and letting them kind of choose add-ons, what they want to do, and kind of in the unbundling part, what's the nice part about it is you send people on a shopping spree. You give people the sense of control. Hey, I'm choosing my plan. This is a buffet, and I'm going to choose what I put on my plate, as opposed to you just handing me a prepackaged meal. Let's keep moving. So the next part, let's go into pricing. Let's talk about pricing a little bit, and then we'll talk about plans, we'll talk about trust and proof, and then we'll go into a little bit more some psychology hacks. Let's talk about pricing, the actual number. This is tricky, and there are a lot of myths out there, and there's a lot of silly things that people have come to believe, or they're taking pricing examples from other industries and applying them to SaaS, and I believe SaaS has its own unique way of pricing features. But let's talk about the biggest myth is the ending in the 9 or 0. Working at Samcart, they have access to billions of transactions, and from what they've discovered and what they put into their report, the 2024 Creator Profit Reports, that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you end your price at 9 or 7 or 5 or 0. There's no conversion difference. If I say, hey, my price is $99 or $100 or $98 or $97 or $91 or $90 or $101, it doesn't really matter. There's no conversion difference. So you just need to choose a price that you think is going to work best for the economics of your company. It's a simpler price. On when something ends in 9, it can feel this. Now we're just talking about the feeling of it. We're not actually talking about the conversion data. The feeling of it is luxury versus affordable. So if something is $99, it feels affordable. So maybe if you're trying to sell to a more consumer market, you're doing a little bit more B2B, that ending in 9 might feel a little bit more approachable. Hey, this is only $99 a month. This is $9 a month. Whereas in the luxury world, in the high-end services world, in the client world, maybe in B2B world, if you're selling to another company, if you're in the B2B world, they're not going to look at it like, oh, it's only $299. Whereas if you just said, yeah, the plan is $300 a month, they'll be like, cool, fine, works for me. That has no material difference to a business, like not $299 versus $300. So it's all kind of aimed at who you're selling to. So if you're in more consumer base and B2C, then maybe stick with 9s or maybe try to seem affordable. Whereas in the luxury world, or if you want to seem luxury to the consumer market, then add a 0, make it just a flat rate, simple number. Let's move on. One trick that we've seen is this one right here, starting on annual. When someone goes to your pricing page, there's that toggle of monthly versus annual. A lot of people will start on monthly and they'll show a price and people get comfortable with that price and they will buy right there because people don't know to toggle. And then when you sell, now you have someone on a monthly plan, and what is more advantageous to your company, what makes you more money, is selling someone on an annual plan. So by having an on annual plan by default, when people slide into your pricing page, they look at that pricing cards and a lot of people will buy it. They will forget to switch to it and they're okay and just accept buying an annual plan. And that means more money for you up front, which is a good thing. Whereas monthly plans are a little shaky. Some people, they're not as committed. The money back guarantee is every single month. They're basically making a decision to buy your product, whereas annual, maybe after 30 days, you can't get a refund or it's not, you can't just stop it just like that. Annual's a little bit more sticky. Whereas, in the annual, you only have to make one decision once a year. Hey, do you want to buy this again for another year? Yep. Whereas you're making 12 decisions a year. Foot the door pricing. This is if you are really just trying to get people in the door. Literally. This is you have a low price and you just need people to convert into customers. You don't need them to be free trial users. You're not trying to extract as much money from them up front. This is more of, okay, I don't want you to be on my freebie email list. I want you to, instead of our plans normally are $30 a month, $40 a month, and $50 a month. Okay, we're going to make a 4th plan and make it super cheap and make it like $10 a month or $9 a month. And you're still paying us. You're now a customer. And then we're going to work our ass off on the back end to try to upgrade you to our actual tier 1 plan, tier 1, 2, and 3 plan versus just the super basic lightweight plan. If you go to one that I know about is circle.so, let me go to their page. So Circle does the same thing on this one. They have their most popular brand plan 1, 2, and 3 here. It's already toggled on annual. And then they have a lightweight plan that they kind of like scoot off to the very end. You don't really see it. So this is their basic plan. It's super lightweight. but they really want you to buy this plan up here. So that's foot in the door pricing. That is just, a paying customer is more valuable than a email freebie seeker. That's how it is. If someone has put their credit card down, they've made a much bigger commitment than someone who's just saying, hey, put your email down or start a free trial with a fake credit card. It's much more stickier. Pricing calculator. This is a fun way to engage your customers and a nice way to get people to understand what they're paying for. If you know how to code it and you know how to make it and it makes sense for your company, add a pricing calculator. It's just more engagement for your customer to be on the page. They're clicking on your page. They're not just reading it, they're like interacting. And the more they interact with your stuff, the more they want you to keep clicking buttons, and the more they keep adding information, and they add your credit card, and then they buy your product. So I think it's a great thing. Pricing calculator. Let's zoom out. Let's go to, oh yeah. All right, let's go now to, let's talk about plans, what plans we do. This is also kind of talking as a nice segue from the pricing. Monthly versus annual, should you offer it in general? I say yes. Again, an annual plan, it's making one decision a year. A monthly plan is making 12 pricing decisions a year. If you had to buy something 12 times a year, every single time, you're going to still run through that same mental buying psychology pattern, and there is a good chance that you might be like, I think I'm going to cancel this year. I think I'm going to pause. Think every Netflix, Disney Plus, whatever subscription that you're on right now, streaming that you're on right now, just like every single month, are you making this? Do I want to get Hulu again, or should I pause it this year or pause it this month? A bigger discount offer, obviously for annual plan, you should offer a bigger discount. I have seen plans where it's 50% off, 40% off. If you can afford it, if you are really trying to just get people in the door, offer a big discount. Don't just do 20% off or 10% off or 30% off. Make it big, make it impactful, make it stand out, because the standard going rate is 20% off or 10% off or 30% off. If you could do 50, make it a nice big fat deal for people to be like, hell yeah, I want to do it. Free plan, yes or no? That is a huge question and has huge implications for your company. If that's the type of company that you have, or the type of product that you're selling, where a free plan is available. Free plan is a great way to get a lot of people in the door. They don't need a credit card. They just need to sign in with their Google, Gmail, or Apple, whatever. And that's how you get a lot of users. That's how you get a lot of people using your app. Get some more feedback. It's bringing on more free customers is never free. The more customers you bring in, or the more leads you have, the more it costs you for email marketing or the cost to run your app. So a free plan it's up to your company and the strategy of your company. If you were selling a B2C thing and you were trying to get as many customers in the door as possible, whether or not they're actually paying customers, then a free plan is a great way to do that. MailChimp, Notion, they've all done that, where they just have free plans. You get in, you just start using the app, and you get Canva as well. It's just fun to use it. There are a couple features that are blocked off from you, and they're always trying to get you to upgrade. But now you're in their world. Now you're in their environment, and they send an email, so you can try to get them to upgrade. Whereas again, before they didn't have a login, they weren't a user. So that's the debate. And I think for most, it's going to depend on what product you're selling. If you're doing a B2C, it's fun, little Canva type AI designer. Yeah, probably. If you're doing something that is more high-end client, or a business where a business is actually making money from the use of your product, then a free plan might not be the best thing to do. Again, this is paid user versus free user. A paid user opens emails. A free user, a freebie seeker, or someone who gets a lead magnet, does not open emails, or after a while will not open emails, because this happens a lot. Something to keep in mind with the no credit card required. People use fake credit cards. There's tons of services out there where you can generate a fake credit card, and they start a free trial, 14-day credit card required, and they will type in their credit card, and that trial ends. They're getting all the emails like, hey, your trial is about to end. We're about to charge you. And then they charge, and then it goes to the fake credit card, and then the user just like la-di-da. They don't get accidentally charged. It's great for the consumer, but bad for you as a SaaS company. So this is the debate of, do you charge money up front? Do you shorten the trial period from 14-day trial to 30-day trial to 7 or 5 or 3-day trial, where the decision is more quick? And hey, I think the best kind of trial is, and I think I have a note about this, is A best kind of free trial is 3 to 5 days. That really pushes people to make a decision. And I think after using an app, after 20 minutes, you kind of get a sense of, are you going to buy this? You don't have to spend 14 days using an app to be like, should I buy this? I think you get it. I think most customers get it, and they already make the decision probably within the first 5 minutes of if they're ever going to buy this. Oh, there we go. There's my note. Free trial, how long? I say do 3 to 5. It doesn't look great on paper. It doesn't look great to your customer that you only get start a 3-day trial. That doesn't sound very appealing. But if you're trying to convert people and get people to become customers, paying customers, then they need to make a decision for Christ and step up to the plate and pay. Let's talk about some safety issues, some trust proof issues. This is making your customer feel safe, calm, warm, like this is not a scam. You need to build trust. If they have never heard of your app, they've never heard of you, the first time they've been on this website, maybe they've seen an ad or now they're here, you've got to do everything in your power as the SaaS company to build trust that at the very least, that if you take my money, that I am okay and that I'm not going to get scammed or that you're not going to steal my credit card information. That is the bare minimum. And then you need to build trust, like, are you going to deliver what you say you're going to deliver? Am I going to get an email from you? These are explaining things like what's next, what to expect. Here, other parts is, of course, here are companies that we work with. Here are our current clients. Here's how many clients. And this goes to the proof, the customers, the testimonials, like these are real testimonials, real reviews, video reviews from customers, video testimonials, the crowd. So there's that little small text underneath a pricing card that says used by 15,000 users or downloaded by, 1,000 people, giving the sense like a lot of people are using this, the crowd is involved in this, and we all want to be a part of the crowd. We all want to be like, go with people. If we feel like this is a lively happening thing, then we want to get in on it. So the other thing too is add logos. Add your big company logos. We've worked with AWS, we've worked with Stripe, we've worked with these huge companies, piggyback on their trust and accountability as a huge company and do it. The other one is security badges. And if you're not familiar with what a security badge looks like, it's something like this. Fully secured, SSL, checkout. Again, these are logos. These aren't company logos or client logos, but these logos on your page actually signal trust and security because you are accepting major credit cards. All the trust and security that you have with Visa. Think of all the trust and security that you associate with American Express or Apple Pay. Maybe not Cash App, but Coinbase. Like these things are these are trusted apps. And this is a great way to add security, put it right underneath your pricing card. The other thing too is cancel anytime and a money back guarantee. People need to know that they can get their money back. It's a pretty horrible customer experience. I've experienced it several times on apps that I bought where you genuinely buy the app, you genuinely think it's going to be a good thing, you get into it and you realize this thing sucks or this is not what I'm looking for. And then you contact support and try to get your money back, even on the same day after using the app. And they will say, no, you can't do it. I'm sorry. You paid the annual. You're stuck for a year. It's a horrible feeling for a customer. And it is, if you want to build some bad word of mouth, do that. Have a horrible money back guarantee policy. So you need to offer some pretty airtight money back guarantee. When I say airtight, I don't mean that airtight that benefits you, the SaaS company. I mean airtight for customer. Then again, this is building trust. If I give you my money and I genuinely think good product, can I get my money back? Am I safe? Is it a 30-day money back guarantee? And then don't hit them with the privacy policy. Oh, you had to read our policy. You had to read our 15,000 word legal document in order to understand the money back guarantee. It should be very plain, simple language. You say 30-day money back guarantee, that means I can get a refund within 30 days. I can get a refund, no questions asked. I'm not going to get hassled and I feel safe. Again, you want your customer to feel safe. If they don't feel safe, they're not going to buy. If they're confused, they're not going to buy. These are things you have to add into your pricing. So for this one, like this one we built for Typeset, 30-day money back guarantee, no questions asked. That's again, simple. Loop, it doesn't have it. Let's talk about Notions real quick. This is an example of what we're talking about here with the trust factor. They've got huge companies up here. They start with pay yearly, pay monthly is not the default selection. See, they do 20%. I'm saying do 30, 40%. So be different. So you don't have to be like these big companies. You are a smaller company and you can kind of undercut these huge companies and give them a better deal. They offer a free plan with Notion, for example. And then we're going to talk about here in a second, the kind of color psychology of these cards. And let's grab those real quick. Let's bring them over here and let's just discuss it live with some actual pricing cards that exist in the world. Make these cards bigger. Okay, so let's first talk about color psychology. Color psychology is I guess I should say in graphic design, there's color, balance, size, space. These are all things to add emphasis, add contrast, add a difference. So when if they look at this pricing card and unfocus your eyes and tell me which card stands out the most, sort of saying, look at this pricing card and just blur your eyes and be like, oh, that one sticks out the most. Or of these plans, which one are you going to pick? Which one am I trying to get you to pick? Because color psychology and doing these graphic design psychology, this is how you push people in the direction that you want them to go in. So with color psychology, you are adding different colors to contrast. So we have a gray and white and black color palette, and then you add this little pop of blue right here, and my eye immediately goes there. So now I'm looking at the plus plan and thinking, okay, the plus plan is what I want to do. Color psychology too here with the logos. They could have done black and white logos and all black logos, and it would have been totally fine, totally acceptable, because that's part of the Notion color palette. But they chose to add the color versions of these logos so that your eye would be drawn to it. So use color to your advantage. Make the plans that you don't want people to necessarily pick boring, and make the popular one, more interesting one, pop out somehow. So change the color entirely, put a nice little purple border around the card, make the card a little bit bigger, push it out further, closer to you visually. And that goes with another thing here, most popular, best plan. Again, customers want to be with the crowd. They want to take the safe route. They want to do what everybody else is doing. And if you tell them that this is the most popular plan, or this has been bought 47 times today, then customers are going to feel, okay, all right, I'll choose this plan. I don't want this plan. This seems like a good deal. I'll get this one. Loss aversion and crossed out. So this is, what do you pack into your features? So this is a more harsh example here that I built. This is showing people, loss aversion is showing you what you don't get, and you as the consumer are trying to avoid that, trying to be like, okay, well, I want to get as much as possible. You keep taking things away from me. Please don't take things away from me. I want these. And that is with crossing things out. That's with graying things out. That's with showing people like what you don't get, which hurts people. And they want. So I'm pushing people with this pricing card. I'm pushing people to get the pro plan over the basic plan, because here's what you don't get. You don't get social media graphics. You don't get access to the Getty library. You don't get PNG exports. You just get PDF only. You get, there's a couple of words I'm using. You only get this. Instead of unlimited projects, you're getting 35 projects. You don't get PowerPoint exports. So it's all just pushing people. So the same with on the Notion page here is, you see the free stuff, and also too, and I learned this in a lot of value-based pricing books that I've read, that you want, and go to Pricing Creativity by Blair Enns. That's another great book to check out. Is you want to make it seem puny. You want it to make it seem like, it's not that great. And this is, you add a ton of features to the plan that you want people to buy, and you add very little features to the plan that is the free plan. It's basic. Hey, you could have 2 to 3 bullet points, and it feels like kind of a little, it's like something left to be desired. So the same here goes like on, this is Canva's pricing page. They will do free. Then they're stuck on yearly. Let's switch to monthly, for example. Well, they have they have a very different, because they're doing B2C and they're doing B2B and B2C. But again, this is that psychology of like, on the free plan, you get most of the basic stuff, but you don't get, 1 million versus 100 million, or 5 gigabytes of storage versus 1 terabyte of storage, and then customer support. So there's some things they could have gone and added some of these check marks here, and then cross them out and say, you don't get customer support, you don't get unlimited this, you only get, you don't get team reports, you don't get pay as you go. a lot of stuff. Now, the pricing table is a totally different thing. That could be an entirely new video itself. But we're talking about just the pricing card. So leave something to be desired. And then the idea of talk to sales versus self-service. So if you're selling an enterprise plan or a larger plan to big businesses, or you're a B2B app in general, do you do talk to sales or self-service? Self-service meaning like I can hit the button myself, put in my own credit card, and get my own account started. So if you're selling to entrepreneurs, like we see with on Samcard, for example, like there's a lot of entrepreneurs that are savvy enough to pay for things. They're not a big business. So you have a big business credit card, and it's not the CEO buying it. It's like the junior manager buying it with their handed out credit card, and they're just buying a plan. So yeah, maybe they do want to talk to sales to get an enterprise plan set up properly. Whereas self-service is you're just giving people the option to sign up themselves, and it's good to go. So I've seen plans where every plan, even the basic ones, tiers 1, 2, and 3, are all talk to sales, which that becomes like, okay, now we're talking about funnels and we're talking about sales processes. Is that the sales route? Do you have the sales team backed up, ready to go, and all in their calendars open to start accepting customers that want to talk to sales because that's the only option? That's a funnel in itself. So that's also up to your sales strategy. So what are we missing? What have we talked about? One thing that we have not talked about yet, let me make sure that I'm covering. Oh, okay. There's one big thing that I'm going to say this one. There's the movie popcorn effect. X, student plans, free gift book. This is more just like customer profiling, choosing the right customer, making sure that the right customer is choosing the right plan, and then they feel safe in choosing this plan. Best for X, I think, is a great little blip to add above your pricing card. If you are this type of person, if you do this, if you have this whatever condition about you or your life, you should do this. Or built for, I don't know, maybe like a MyFitnessPal type app would be like the newbie runner, the seasoned pro, or like the active marathon trainer. It's what's the level of degrees that you want to do. So for Samcard, we've done, hey, you've never made $1 in your life, you make $1,000 a month, or you make $10,000 a month. Like you could do by revenue. It'd be like, hey, if you are making $10,000 a month, this is going to be the best plan. And I think it's good because it's, again, that concierge effect where you're taking your customer by the hand and you're guiding them and telling them, this is going to be the best plan for you. Offering a student plan or student discounts, I think it's great. It depends on, it's going to depend on the type of app you have. If you're B2C and they're just trying to get people in the door, or student plans for Adobe has worked out amazingly. Same for Notion. Speaking of Notion, people, they use it for school. You get them hooked. It's kind of fucked up a little bit because it's just getting kids hooked on something. And then when they become adults and they have the actual money to pay for things, they have this nostalgic emotional connection to your app. And then they're willing to pay for it because it helped them get through school as a kid. That is some cigarette company type shit, but they made a couple $1 billion doing that type of stuff. So get the kids hooked early, and maybe in a couple years, if you got that long-term plan for your app, and you can be like, hey, this is a freshman in college right now, they buy my app, and in 5 years they're going to be an adult, they're going to lose their student email, and we're going to get them on the big boy plan, and they're going to start paying us $50 a month, $100 a month, because they still have this nostalgic thing, or they've got some stickiness or some old projects in their student plan. It's do what you want with that idea. A free gift or free ebook. This is great for sales. This is, handing someone a fresh water bottle when they arrive at your store. This is mints at the end at the restaurant. This is just some nice little, when you give somebody a gift, they feel obligated to reciprocate to you. So you give your customer a gift, you give them a free gift. Hey, when you sign up today, you get a free gift. Or just have a free, no email required download button above your pricing card or below your pricing card that says, get our free guide, and they just click download, and it just goes straight to their download folder. That's a nice little way to just be like, hey, here you go. Have a great day. Glad you came by. Can I help you with anything? It's that kind of reciprocation where they're like, hey, they just gave me a free gift. They just gave me a 90-page ebook. Wow, this okay. And then you feel a little bit more obligated to buy. So that's a little sales hack. I don't know if I talked about the movie popcorn effect, and it's like probably the biggest thing. And we're 32 minutes into the video, so welcome. This is it. This is price anchoring. If you have any questions up to this video, okay, what about price anchoring? I keep hearing this word, price anchoring. This is the big money right here. This is price anchoring. So the movie popcorn effect, you've gone to the movie theaters and you see the small and it's $5. And then you look at the jumbo size and it is $20. And then you look at the medium and it's $7. So let's map it out. Let's have some fun. So popcorn, number one, the jumbo size popcorn is $20. And then the middle option, the medium, which is not as big as the large, but it's not as small as small, and that's $7. This is the movie popcorn effect. Which item are you going to go with? You're going to choose the medium because it's obviously the best deal. So double the size. I'll give some numbers. So let's say this one's 8 ounces, this one's 16 ounces, and this one's 24 ounces. So this is 3 times as big. It's just a better deal. You're getting more pound per dollar, whatever. That's the movie popcorn effect. So if you can do this with your app, where you are pushing people to say, okay, because if you get the basic plan, if you chose this plan here, make a different color too for our color psychology. If you chose this basic plan and you're not giving yourself the best deal because you could be getting so many more features, you give it so much more stuff for just $2 more. So you'd be crazy to buy the basic plan, the $5 plan, when you can just simply upgrade and get something that's a little bit more expensive. And so this is the pricing psychology that we're talking about here, where we're pushing people. I want people to get the medium size because that's where maybe that's where my best profit margins are. Or maybe that's where people are going to get the most impact because they're going to have the biggest access to most of the features. If you buy the $5 plan, the $5 popcorn, you're going to get punished because it's not as jam-packed with features, and you're not going to get to solve your problem as quickly. Then there's also, with the $20 pricing this is the movie popcorn effect. It's also called decoy pricing, where I'm going to throw out a number so high and so outrageous, and you can't get outrageous to where your customers will be like, yeah, fucking fat chance. Where it's something like this, where it is so, no one's going to buy this, and maybe it's just a little bit more expensive, or a little bit, not more expensive. It has a couple more features but it is so outrageously high that there's no way that I'm going to buy this. So this is an extreme case. The $20 is more like a realistic case, where is, again, the middle plan, the tier 2 plan, because this one is a good deal and it's affordable, but for a little bit more, I could be getting this, and there's no way I'm going to buy the super plan because that is 5 times, 6 times more expensive. Why would I buy that? And it doesn't have that many. It's not 6 times more valuable. It's only twice as more valuable. So I would pay this if it was 14. Then now we're talking. Like, okay, it's all about what you want as a startup founder. Do you want people to be in the most expensive plan? Do you have plans of raising your prices in the future? Is this truly the best bang for your buck? But I would say do something like this, where it's a little bit, this might be, this I would say is the not wild man pricing. This is a little bit more like tame conservative pricing, but you do the double. So from tier 1 to tier 2, you double it. And then from tier 2 to tier 3, you double that again. So again, it feels like 10. What I have a problem with this one and why it is kind of safe and conservative is it's kind of like you're not really sure which plan to choose. And as a customer, if you're giving too many choices, you get overwhelmed and you get confused and you feel unsafe, and then you don't buy something. So this is a safe approach, and this does not immediately tell me which plan to get, because now I have to read and do research. Okay, 5 to 10. Is this twice as good? And then from 10 to 20. So this is where you need to kind of like stretch things out a little bit, where, okay, now this one's 4, and this one's 10, and this one's 20. Okay, maybe the 10 is the price that I want to go with, because 30 is a little too expensive. 4 is cheap, but for a little bit more, I could get twice as many features. That's the movie popcorn effect. So let's go and actually build one of these. It's a long video, but This is fun. I told you, I love pricing psychology. I love pricing cards. So to close that loop about the movie effect, this one doesn't exactly ring out to me that they're trying to push me to the business plan, the plus plan. Again, they're doing some psychology here, but free versus 10, that's a totally different conversation. If this was $1 versus $10, again, free is always going to be free. Free wins no matter what. I'll have the most basic shit, but basic features. But if it's free, that's a totally different conversation. So on the Notion side, I understand what they're doing. That's their business model. They can afford to have a bunch of free users, and some people, and their idea is to try to push people up. But for business plan, and again, it's all tricky because this is like a blended. So we're gonna get away from this. Now with this is loops.so. This is an email marketing software. They have free. Again, free is free, and they have the pricing calculator. And what I like about them is, and now we're kind of getting off on a tangent, is they make the pricing card very simple. It's full access to everything. It's easy to understand. This is another thing too with pricing cards. How easy is it to understand? If you are listing out 25 different features on your pricing card, you are going to confuse a lot of people. They're going to feel overwhelmed. They're going to feel like they have to do research and that they're shopping. And when it could just be a simple decision, okay, 1,000 contacts, 2,000 sends, full access to everything else, great. It doesn't feel manipulative. It doesn't feel black hat. It feels, hey, you're being a good guy here. Thanks. And then choosing the free plan feels safe. Starting a plan also feels safe. Where else can we go? Should we build this? Let's build this. So I came up with this AI designer app. We have a bunch of features here, and we're going to make some plans. So let's make a couple shapes here. Let's make this one gray. Let's make 3 pricing plans. And let's look at some of these features that we have. So we have AI assisted layout. This is my AI design company where we make graphic design. I'm making it up. AI layout and composition. Okay. AI assisted layout and composition. That feels like a standard basic feature. We're going to keep that in here. Smart object detection and selection. That feels basic. Intelligent template suggestion. That feels part of it. Color palette generation. That feels part of it. Text to image generation. That could be here. Maybe we do some tokens or some credits. Collaborative workspace design. That feels a little bit more for higher end plans. File format converter. That feels higher end plan. Brand style guides. That feels higher end. AI driven font pairings. That feels, let's be generous and give it to the basic plan, people. Real-time design feedback and sharing and scoring. That is higher end. Export to PNG and PDF. That could be for the high tier plan. Image, intelligent image resizing and cropping. That middle plan. AI background removal and AI image enhancement and filtering. And then integration with stock libraries here. So why did I make these decisions so quickly? And what was my decision-making process for these? So again, I want to put the best features, the juiciest features, the features that I know my customers can't live without. I want to put that in. If I'm trying to make some money, if I'm trying to get money from my customers, I want to put that in a higher tier plan. If you're just trying to be generous and you can afford to ride it out, you're venture backed and you can just say, hey, let's put all the best features in the basic plan and just have a bunch of freebies. But users on our app, go for it. But I'm here for trying to make as much money as possible. I'm trying to convert as many people as possible at a higher plan. I'm trying to increase average order value, lifetime value of my customers. I'm trying to get the most money out of my customers as possible while delivering the best experience possible. That's my goal as always. So why did I choose this? So some of this stuff is I can't live without. So you have to know your customers. You have to know what they need. So as a designer myself, I know that a JPEG image file is super basic and I need some PNGs, I need some PDFs, I need some PowerPoint exports. I need something that, because I'm a professional designer and that's how I need those files. So if you know your customers, you're like, they need this is absolutely a must have, then think about putting it in your higher price plan. Collaborative design workspaces. This implies that they might be a business. This implies they might be a freelancer, or that they're working with somebody, or that they're working within a company, which means they have more money, which means they have more spending power, which means they're going to get a higher plan. Real-time design feedback and scoring. Again, this feels, hey, we're working on a team, we're a business. This is B2B now in that section, and you're going to get a higher price plan. File format converter. This could be a freebie thing out here just to get people in the door and start using. You Google search file format converter, and there's a billion free little apps out there that have I don't know how they make their money. I guess it's through ads, Google ads, but nevertheless, that's how they're making their money. But so for this design app, I think it's a pretty important thing to take something from a JPEG to a PNG or PDF to a PowerPoint file format. I think that's important. So I want to put that in the middle plan because I think the average Joe can use it, but also some business teams need to use it. Image resizing and cropping, you need to, again, that's something that if I was on the basic plan and I wanted to take my square image and make it rectangular, that way I could resize it and have some more options. That means, again, I might be a freelancer, I might be a designer, I might be making money off this app. So that implies I have more spending power and I can afford to use this app and I can afford a higher price plan because I need this app to run my business or to use my business. Brand style, guys, again, if you're a brand, you're a business. So you have more spending power. AI background removal. I think Canva does this. If you want the ability to remove the background, that's a very advanced feature. And it's going to cost us money on the company side, AI-wise. That's a feature I'm going to push higher up. Stock images, icon libraries, again, higher up. It's got to be higher up. And then for the basic stuff, for the basic plan, these are just like can I use the app at a very basic level? The layout, composition, template suggestion, filters, making me a color palette, find me some fonts that I like, text to image generation, smart object detection. These are all things that I need as a basic function of using a graphic design tool. But if I want to get to those things where it's more business, it's more freelancer, this is how my company works, then that's where I'm going to push these features. So then what do I price it at? So let's talk about some prices, or let's talk about the names of prices. You could go, I think you really need to have a more, for the love of God, don't do gold, silver, bronze, silver, gold. Oh, lost my place. Okay, yeah, don't do bronze, silver, gold. For the love of God, don't do it. So now let's talk about how we style this. So let's call basic plan, pro plan, and then team plan. These are basic names, but it's a lot better than bronze, silver, gold, or tier 1, 2, and 3. Let's say I want to we're just going to mock this up real quick live. Most popular. This is my most popular brand. I'm going to make it stand out. Yellow is a great color to make things stand out and make it visually attractive. You just put it right across the board here. You have all your features laid out. Now, do you put the pricing at the top or do you put the pricing at the bottom? That is the question. I would say that you put the pricing at the top as a price anchor versus putting it at the bottom where they have to read all the features and then get hit with the price. Let's just be out front and just give them the price. It's going to be $29 a month for the basic plan, for the pro plan. And month, I say $29 per month because I'm trying to appeal to a consumer and I don't need this to be necessarily a team plan. So this is going to be $29 a month. I could say for this one, it could be $90 a month, or it could be $50 a month. Now, see if I did $50 a month. Now you're in between the pro and the team plan because you're like, okay, for less than double, I could get a bigger plan. And then over here for the basic plan, let's do $19 a month. So $19 a month, $29 a month, and actually let's do $70. So now it feels like the most popular plan, and you could even say you do the little, I rotate the 30%. You do the little corner badge here where it's like the little ribbon, 30% off. We're going to go grab our security badges here to make people feel safe. We are going to add a 30-day money back guarantee. We're going to put that bold, make it bigger. 30-day money back guarantee. Again, you don't have to do these colors. You can do whatever you want. And then you can even add, say, no questions asked. We add some logos above and below. We take all of these. I'm a little bit more manipulative. So I would put all these here and I would show everybody what they're not getting, include all of this stuff and show everybody what they are getting so that it just feels like they're missing out. They're missing out. This is the best plan. And let's stop it right there. That is a pretty solid pricing card. So save this video, watch this video again. We went over, God, this felt like the entire masterclass on building a pricing card. We talked about the movie popcorn effect, luxury, ending in 9s and 0s, annual plan, free users versus paid users, how long should your free trial be, adding proof and trust and money back guarantees and security badges, adding the concierge effect of who is this for, best for this type of person, student plans, giving people a gift to enhance and make them feel like having some reciprocity towards you. Where do you put your best features? I think you put your best features in your tier 2 and 3 plans to push people, punish them a little bit to upgrade and make them pay you more for your services. Bundling and unbundling, do you put all these together? Do you make it a la carte? Do you pull out one and say you can use this one and then say, okay, would you like to add these to your order? You can get that, leave that up to your customer, give them that sense of empowerment. And that is it, guys. That is an entire layout of your pricing cards. Go out, test it out. The only way that you're going to know is by testing it out, seeing what price it should be, seeing what works, what doesn't work, watching your customers, asking your customers, interviewing them. A pricing card is like any other part of your marketing. It is a theory that you have, and until you test it out into the market, it can only be confirmed by your customers. And if they say yes, they say no, that is the only data point that you need to know. Are people buying this? Are people buying this particular plan? That is the guiding light that you need to follow. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Jordan Anderson with Nice Slice Studio. We'll see you on the next one.